What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, I'm talking about Surging Sparks. We haven't talked about it in a little while, and some things are kind of starting to go on with Surging Sparks. You know what's funny is I kind of told this was going to happen, and I kind of said it was going to happen, but it was another perspective. But we're going to be looking at today, looking at Surging Sparks and see what's going on with it, because there's some interesting things. The price of the booster box is not going crazy yet. It's still kind of staying stagnant around that 205. It's going between 205 and like 210. As we can see from recent sales, it's kind of going still between, like I said, 209. 200 to 210. You've seen a couple sales at 210, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, we still have a little while. Like I said, this kind of makes sense what's going on right now. It's because this box just had such a ginormous run up. You see a big run up for like a whole month. Literally, it ran up. So that's typically what happens when boxes kind of hit that, like, have a good run up. That's typically what happens. They kind of slow down a little bit or kind of stagnate a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, you kind of see downs and ups and downs and ups. We'll see that for, like I said, this will probably happen for a little while. But there's a couple things that is going on with Surging Sparks right now that's kind of probably going to change this, maybe potentially, because the cards inside of Surging Sparks is starting to move a little bit. There's some cards in Surging Sparks that are starting to move. But let's look at booster boxes and see what all the prices are going to go for. What's crazy is the ETBs are starting to sell for more money now too. The ETBs are kind of undervalued. I told y'all before in a video, I'm like, hey, if y'all want to get some Surging Sparks, ETBs are the way to go right now because they're kind of cheap. Most of them were around like $45 to like $48. They've gone up like $10 by now. Plus you see $56 plus $7 in shipping. So, and the booster bundles are going up. All these products are starting to go up. Like, it's kind of interesting. $195 for a booster box plus shipped, $205 plus ship plus tax. So this guy probably paid $220 for this booster box. It's kind of crazy. And look, we have a sealed case right here sold for $1,200. $1,200. That is $200 a booster box plus $20 of shipping plus maybe about, I would probably say this guy probably paid $12.50 for it. So boxes are starting to go crazy a little bit. Oh wait, what? Electric breaker selling for $100 too? I didn't even know that. Wow, that's interesting. I haven't looked at Surging charge breaker. I don't have any of those boxes either. I know we typically have Japanese boxes, but yeah, we see Surging box boosters boxes are starting to kind of move a little bit or kind of stay stagnant a little bit. You kind of see they're getting that dominant price at what's it called. Now we're starting to see other products kind of catch up to the booster boxes, because the booster box was the one thing that kind of flew up and people were just paying attention to that, of course. But there's other products in Surging Sparks besides the booster boxes, so I kind of figured those are going to come up eventually, so it makes sense what's happening right now. But let's look at the big card. Of course, is a Pikachu. We'll look at a PSA 10. PSA 10 is selling for the same price, just sold today, literally today. $1,800, $1,500. People thought this card is going to crash. I mean, this card is kind of slowing down a little bit. It is slowing down. It is gone from like $2,500 to $2,000 to like $1,500. It's probably going to stay between this point. I don't really see it going any crazier than this. See, look, one card paid for $2,500. Oh my goodness. So it's interesting. You see some buying for $225 for the card. So this card's kind of moving a little bit. It's kind of staying in that stagnant area like the other card. This wasn't where I was looking at. Oh yeah, this is our regular SARs. Some of them are selling for higher than lower because it just depends on the actual card itself and the grade it is, because people kind of go based off of this to look at the pictures and be like, hey, I want this card for grading. So these kind of why the prices fluctuate a lot. The higher prices are, I guess, the cleaner copies, and the ones that people believe is PSA 10s. Damn, look at this. 2 cards sold for $1,000. Oh my goodness. And look, this is crazy right here. PSA 9 selling for $600. So if you get a Pikachu, you send it to grading, comes back a PSA 9. That means even if you fail at a PSA 10, you get your money back as a regular card. You still make a little bit of money there. So that's kind of interesting. This probably a lot of people are kind of hopping on this play. It is a more expensive play, so I wouldn't hop on this. But there is a card that I told y'all, hey, this card looks interesting to me. I should have bought it. Me personally, I should have bought it. I said it was going to be a good card. Look, this card's going for $220 now. $220 for the Latios. Still at $179. This card was selling between $150 and like $140 around the area. Well, it's kind of selling for $200. It was becoming like $175 and $200. But we're seeing higher sales for $200, $220, $215. There's some higher number sales up for this card. It's crazy, man. If we look on TCG Player too, they're selling for way higher now. Like, look, 270s or 270s, 260s. So it's kind of interesting to see what's really going on with this card. I don't really, you know what I mean, like that. We kind of figured this card was going to go up because I knew it was kind of undervalued a little bit at least, but we see all these sales. Look, 260, 280. I don't really know what's going on here. Maybe the price is going to kind of play out and the card's going to go up. I don't really know, but this is another big card that's moving right now too. Is a Milotic. The Milotic was a sleeper on here. I knew the art was beautiful. The card's absolutely amazing card. Love the artwork on it. It's kind of moving in price now too. This card is selling for, it was selling for like $75. Look what it's selling for now. 100 like 20, 30, 4 to like, like I'd say about 120 to 150 around there. It's kind of consistently selling for. We're seeing some lower, some higher. This is crazy what's going on with these cards. Like this Surging Sparks it's going to be interesting to see as we see some of these other cards move down. We've seen the Pikachu slow down, so like I said, this is kind of like I said before. I've said this in multiple videos. Surging Sparks still has a good amount of time to really see what happens with it, because I feel like something's going to happen before. Like I said, we still have a month and like half before Prismatic Evolutions, so we still have a while for this set to kind of really set in. We're still in the holidays. We're just now really getting into like Christmas and people buying products, so we'll see how that really goes. TCG Player does have their deal going on right now still for another like 2 days, so that's going to see how that plays out with these cards too. That's probably why we're seeing more cards in the movement we're going to see. As you can see, the booster boxes, I made a video of this yesterday, but look at the booster box sold. 252 sold yesterday, 96 sold today, literally double whatever the other ones are. Like, this is kind of interesting, but as we can see, the cards, look, this is the whole entire set. And this is kind of what the card prices are going to go. This is Poké Data. They're pretty good. This is where I normally go to look at the prices of like whole entire sets. As we can see, the whole entire set value is almost $1,600. $1,600 for the set value. It's gone up. I think it was around like $1,450, or I think the last time I looked at it. It's gone up like $100, which makes sense because there's some cards moving up. The Latias is moving up. The Milotic is moving up, and actually the Pikachu is moving up really well too. But there's some cards kind of going down that I've seen. I've seen the Latios kind of moving down. This one's sitting around like a $50 to $5 card. It's kind of slowing down a little bit, but you know, all these other cards are kind of making up for it. So like I said, this is why I don't really like playing the singles game, because singles is really rough. I've thought about getting into it. I might try to look at it more next year, but I like sealed products. Sealed products really kind of where I kind of thrive at and kind of understand it. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't want to move away from what I don't understand, but eventually I have to diversify myself and kind of get into different aspects of this hobby to really succeed. And I feel like, well, not to succeed really, but to be diversified and be able to do different markets. You see what I'm saying? Like when sealed's going slow, I can go into like singles and mess with that a little bit. But you know, that's down the line. I'm not really too worried about that right now. I'm concentrating on sealed product and seeing what's going on with that, because I love sealed products. Sealed products where like I said, I really enjoy it. But like I said, and look, we can look at the Milotic too, the sales. That's what I pulled up here. Look, 140 for this card. Look, oh my goodness, 122. This is $50. I don't know how this happened. That was kind of crazy. Like, that's really interesting. As we see, that was a good deal. $95, $90, $90. Oh my goodness gracious. 150 for the Feedbacks and the Milotic. This card is going crazy. What's going on right now? We see Pikachu, of course. Milotic regular is still going crazy too. Card's absolutely amazing. The Milotic was a big sleeper one. It really was, because it was really low in price. Like, it wasn't selling for that much. There's not that many. It looks like it's not that many sold either. There's 23 listings being sold right now. Let's see. These are all Japanese. You see a lot of Japanese on here, and the ones that you see that are English are going for the 130s to 140s. So this card is probably going to help out Surging Sparks. Will this probably have make the booster boxes price go up? I don't really know, because like I said, the Pikachu's kind of slowed down a little bit. Hasn't slowed down crazy, but the Pikachu kind of has slowed down, and it's kind of staying about the same price. I'd say it's kind of staying between that $450 to $500 mark where it should stay at. So this might have an effect on the booster boxes. This might push this box up to $225. We'll see really how it goes. Like I said, I'm paying attention to sales. This box is still selling crazy. It's still selling a lot. Freaking, oh my goodness, this graph is insane. Like, these graphs look small, you know, like that. Like, you look smaller, but look at every single day. 52 boxes, 49 boxes, 72 boxes. It's crazy. But look how many listings there is, though. 149 listings. So there's a lot of people selling this right now. So I kind of figured that. Like I said, the kind of sweet spot for people was the $200 mark. I kind of figured that, because every single time I made a video about Surging Sparks and was like, hey, what price do you think you're gonna sell at? People were saying 200, 200, 200, 200. So it's kind of, once we get over this leap of 200, I feel like we're gonna start running a little bit, because like I said, we just have to get rid of all these kind of people that wanted to sell at 200, make sure we weed them mostly out, and once that kind of happens, we have the run to keep going and stuff like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. I'm kind of excited. Like I said, I'm glad I'm in the set. I don't know how much. Like I said, I have 4 cases of this. I literally got 2 booster boxes today. Oh yeah, I want to say that too in this video. I mean, I kind of got I made a video about, I think earlier this week, that a site had booster boxes come back up online. So I was like, okay, for like market price, it was 160. So I'm like, hey, I'll pick them up. I picked up 2 of them. I don't know what I might do with those. I might sell them, because those are just kind of like little flips, I guess, really, for me. I mean, I don't really like flipping like that, but you know, we'll see how it goes. See what the box price goes up to. I'm gonna hold them probably for a little bit, at least till the end of this month, because like I said, I personally believe that Surging Sparks can still run, and is going to run for at least a little bit until Prismatic Evolutions. Once Prismatic Evolutions comes out, this is when Surging Sparks is really going to start slowing down, I feel like. I mean, it probably might not, but Surging Sparks kind of has that, because everybody's focused on Surging Sparks right now, because it's the newest set coming out. Beautiful Pikachu, Milotic, everything like that, but everybody's hyped for Prismatic. Very, very hyped for Prismatic. Like, these numbers that we're seeing on Surging Sparks right now, like 50 sales a day, 60 sales a day, everything like that. Like, this one 300, 300 sales is probably what we're going to be seeing for Prismatic Evolutions. But Prismatic Evolutions, the one thing we might see that, but Prismatic Evolutions is at the price double MSRP that I feel like people aren't really too comfortable buying at that, and they're kind of going to stay away. There is going to be people, of course, that buys it, but it's just, I don't know, Prismatic Evolutions is going to be, like I said before, a bloodbath. So we'll get to that when we get to that. I want to talk about Prismatic Evolutions probably a later video this week. We'll see what happens, but I kind of want to see what's going on with that too, because I haven't been paying attention to some products I have been paying attention to. I've been mainly trying to focus on trying to buy things really right now, and kind of looking for the deals on Prismatic Evolutions, like buying them for retail price as much as I can. I did get lucky this week. I've said this in the last video, so I'm lucky I did get some Prismatic Evolutions. I'm really glad I went heavy on that one, because I didn't know if I was going to get another one, you know what I mean? So it's just scary times we're in right now. Surging Sparks is doing well though. Every card is starting to go up. The cards that are not just the Pikachu, a lot of people the one thing about Surging Sparks is a lot of people are focused on this Pikachu, but there's a lot of other good cards in this set. As we can see, we have the Latios. The Latios was moving up. I kind of figured that was going to happen. I should have made a play on this. I literally said people should make a play on this, but you know, I didn't do it. You know what I mean? Like that. I should have pulled the trigger, but I didn't do it. But I was more going to grade it as a 10, because 10s were selling for like $1,000, and the Latios regular, I think, is, well, we can actually see. I want to see what the PSA 10 of this was selling for. That's one thing I didn't look in this video, is what the PSA 10 Latios is selling for. Because I think the PSA 10, I looked at it early this morning. I looked at it earlier today. I think it was selling for, I think, 800 now. I want to see, what is it selling for? Dang, wait, the Lisa's Appeal, 380. Oh my goodness gracious. $2,000. That's November 16th. Oh, PSA 9, 238. Where is it at? Come on, 570 for PSA 10. Oh my goodness, yo, these cards are crazy price. Hey, look, $1,000. This was, I mean, it's still a good grading plate, because you're buying it for $250 and you're grading it, and if you get a PSA 10, you're gonna get 4 times your money and stuff like that, or 3 times your money. So there's still a play like that. If you want to take that, it's up to you. But the interesting thing is this Lisa. Oh my goodness, look at $338 for this at a bid, and let's see what the price of Lisa is. I'm just gonna go based off of this. The Lisa right now is $64. So if you get 3 or 4 of these and send them in, and possibly get a 10 on one of them, you make your money back. That is interesting. Like I said, these kind of the plays that I kind of think of and look at when I see this. This is like kind of the plays that I would make personally if I was into singles. I don't know how people do this, but this is kind of what the you got to look for outliers that I've realized with singles. I know I'm just talking about, but this is Surging Sparks is one of those sets you can do this because a lot of PSA 10s are coming back, and you would have to pay a little bit for shipping and stuff like that. So I don't really know. It just depends how this plays out, but it's interesting. The price on these cards kind of are interesting how this plays out. Well, this was November 24th. I'm kind of, yeah. So this was like less than a week ago, about a week ago tomorrow. So, you know what I mean. So I guess it makes sense. Dang, look, Gem at 10. Wow, these cards are selling for crazy prices. But I just wanted to go over Surging Sparks today, kind of see how it goes, because I like paying attention to this set. I enjoy talking about this set. Like I said, this set for me is one of the sets that kind of go off and based how the market is going right now, and kind of how the market is doing, because this is kind of the main people are going after right now. People, we did see yesterday, like some of the booster boxes are going highly sold, like because of the deal and stuff like that on TCG Player, but I still feel like Surging Sparks is kind of the market right now, really. It is, until Prismatic Evolutions comes out. Once that comes out, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens there, but I'm done rambling on about this video. Hope y'all enjoyed this little update on Surging Sparks. You know, we'll see what happens. Let me know if y'all enjoyed it. Let me know if y'all want to get more of these Surging Sparks updates. I probably will, maybe like once a week. I don't really like doing them too much. I was doing like every other day, and it just feels really repetitive to me, and I kind of want to diversify my content a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Hope y'all enjoyed it. See y'all next one. Peace.